To put it bluntly, the big positive about a pet is a combination of the companionship and emotional support you get from having one. But a big negative about a pet, beyond peeing on the floor or shedding on every piece of furniture, is the inevitable financial cost of having one. All too often, when people discuss having a pet, they only focus on the positives of having one and not the negative, which is equally important. Without considering these negatives, the costs of animal care naturally occur, and many people end up struggling with the inner turmoil of loving the animal but not having the ready resources to pay for their care. Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Money. My name is Pat Zumwish, your YouTube CFP. Today's topic is about pets and money and the often large financial and emotional interplay on animals. I hope you find this topic helpful. Let me share some common expenses involved in the ownership of a pet. The ASPCA estimates that you'll spend on average $540 as your initial cost for a new puppy, but that doesn't include the adoption fees, which could add another $300. Then there's the annual costs, which are on average $890. Cats are initially less expensive. You pony up about $200 for the adoption and another $365 for other first-time costs, but the annual cost for food, litter, toys, and recurring medical needs is around $800. Most of the expenses for exotics, as they're called, fish, hamsters, and everything in between, is almost completely upfront. You'll need a tank, equipment, and decorations, but the ongoing costs are limited to food and some miscellaneous items. You can expect to spend $200 to $250 in that first year, and then maybe about $100 annually. Additionally, experts say that every pet owner should consider their animal will experience a major significant medical emergency over their lives. Estimates on that number also vary widely, but not uncommonly are $2,000 to $6,000. A MetLife survey found that almost half of pet parents, 45%, said that their pet went through a major health event in a year, but unfortunately 82% of them weren't financially prepared for the cost of this. 3 other caveats here. Number 1, personally, I would not buy a pet insurance policy. That feels like a layaway plan for people who can't budget or make the needed tough end-of-life decisions. Number 2, all the previously mentioned are for the most common domestic animals. If you want a horse as a pet, that can be an immense financial responsibility that is almost impossible to quantify. Number 3, if you acquire a pet, do think through who will inherit that pet upon your death, especially those with known long lifespans, such as tortoises and parrots. Given that the average American household struggles paying a $400 emergency bill, I'd highly discourage you from owning a pet unless you have a $5,000 emergency fund set aside for you and can meet the aforementioned expenses without having to worry about taking care of your food and rent. In my opinion, it would be wise to talk or at least think through in advance how much of an emergency bill you're willing to face so that you don't have to feel guilty about saying, $5,000 is too much and I can't afford it. So could you please put my pet down and I'll pay that $300 instead? Having said all this, when my daughter was in vet school, she fell into deep depression. She called one weekend and said she wanted to adopt a dog, and I was adamantly opposed. I needed her to take care of herself, not dilute her precious energy taking care of a dog. But she got Lena. And in my opinion, Lena got my daughter through vet school and sustained her instead of burying her. It was a powerful lesson for me. That's it for this session. Thank you for letting me help you do wise things with your money.